Shalom Yasharallah. Before we go into this lesson, we give all honor and all glory and all praises to Yahweh. Sokal Halalia Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Kakodash. I was honestly sharing some videos and teaching a younger brother in the truth, right? And they kind of begin to, over a period of time, they begin to fall short and they fall away from the truth, believing in. But he also had a mindset, but he kind of was leaning more into the great millstone understanding and the one true doctrine and faith, right? Or gospel, Salakia. And now I see that he has fallen short to believing in the matrix and believing in the angels fell, and whatever the case is, and the blah 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 blah, this and that and the other. So I kind of get to see the path that he went. Now, of course, we don't have any control over that because the Most High, Scriptures literally tells you that there's no free will. So whatever he ordains will come to pass with every single one of us, right? So this is just a lesson of exhortation, more or less. I mean, I felt as though I probably could have done something to change things, but of course, we have no control over these things at the end of the day, right? Because if the Most High put that spirit on him to go that path, that means he's not for that. And if he happens to somehow come out of it after send him more videos, can I send him some links to Mattis Adbat and Brother Abaniah page, so I'm hoping that he would be re-edified, because let him did this breakdown the lessons very, very, very perfectly, or almost perfectly, or very good to be exact. I ain't trying to body home, but I just wait is. So let's go into this lesson before you keep talking with nonsense, alright? Before you keep on talking, let's go to the lesson. Not nonsense, keep on talking. And the reason why is because it looked as though he was, even though I would have sent the links of these brothers' lives and videos and even done my own, it looked as though he was turning away on some other doctrine that he would have probably stumbled on and hear. And my question, right? What I would have said if he would have had enough discernment after partaking of the wisdom and knowledge or this wise counsel, he would have had the discernment to be able to try these spirits. Because the scripture says clearly to believe not every spirit, but try the spirit to see if they be in the faith. Roughly paraphrasing. So, but he has mixed himself with these different doctrines that he would have listened to and followed, and probably would have sensed that it may have sounded good enough for him to grasp, rather than, hey, if it's not the truth, it's not the truth, and if it's the truth, it's the truth, like how we just do things, right? So let me grab the precept of that. Ephesians chapter 4 and verses 13 to 14, Salakia, where it says, till we all come in unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of stature of the fullness of Yahushua HaMashiach. And verse 14, where it says this. Now I want you to listen close attention, because this is what has taken place with that particular individual. Now, it says this, that henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So in understanding, you would have mixed yourself with different doctrines, and guess what? You are now taken up by a particular doctrine that you would have rather or prefer rather than the truth. which the scriptures in Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8 tells you, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiment of the world, of the world, and not of Yahushua Hamashiach. Sister said, beware lest any man spoil you. And I could say this at this point, you are indeed spoiled. You are indeed spoiled. You are believing in the opposite what you were taught, where we brought massively enough precept to give perfect understanding to these lessons. And you still decide to go off to listen to hearsay, he say, speaking some nonsense about technology and the angels fell and all this nonsense, and that turn you away by the matrix and and the evil angels. Did that really turn you away after hearing the truth from Great Millstone, boy, and like-minded brothers who broke this down beautifully, boy? I even did a live where he was on it, and all these brothers were providing precepts, and you still fell off and believe in your own thing rather than hearing the truth from the scriptures itself, from the Bible itself, its own interpretation, which is given unto the men, the true men of the Lord, Yahweh, the elect. Started from the elders coming down. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, by the way. Come on now, man. With that understanding is clear as day, right? You have a zeal for the Most High. Let me not butcher it. Romans chapter 10 and verse 2. It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. See? And this is you. Let me read lower down. It says, for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, going about to establish their own righteousness. See? How it's going so far? It says, having not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh. For Hamashiach is the end for Hamashiach is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believed. So with that, I'm telling you, like, it you don't know how it upset him, man, because it's something that we would have went into. Like, a good example, this doctrine that you are going into, the scriptures say, literally, I can't make this up. Wisdom of the world is foolishness with Hamashiach. And you going back into a doctrine that they taught even in the Christian church. It doesn't make sense. There's no way a man could be a Christian Israelite and make it. That is off doctrines you're in. That is leading you astray. That is going to lead you to destruction. If the Most High put that on you, then He is doing it for your destruction. You are being deceived by the script by Yahweh Shemashai. And I'm going to grab it one time in Job chapter 12 and verse 16, where it says this, and verse 16, it says, with him strength and wisdom, with him is strength and wisdom, Salakia, and the deceived and the deceiver are his. Meaning, you, my friend, at this current point, was led away from the truth. So you need to examine yourself. I'm going to send this video link to you. You need to examine yourself a little bit more. to see if you're being the faith. Because the faith that you choose to be in that doctrine is off, according to scriptures, as it is written. If it's not biblical, scripture say to the law, to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, that's because there's no light in them. Right now, you sure that there's no light in you. Scripture said it's simple, believe it every word. Let me grab that. I think I had that on before. I'm gonna grab it again. Right. 14 and 15, it says, the simple believe it every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his goings. And let me grab the NLT, because this was straight to the point, but let me grab the NLT. Only simpletons believe everything they're told. It says the prudent carefully consider their steps. Brother, I suggest you examine yourself. This is my suggestion. Of course, after I send this to you, it's up to you to actually do it or not. Because at the end of the day, it is not you, but it is the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to have you in that state. And if you can't understand that, there's nothing we can do. Remember, we're supposed to stand against these doctrines, these false doctrines. We're supposed to be the ones to pull down these strongholds, to help remove these nonsense that people would spew. And you were on the live a few times, the archive, and you just disappear and you get to go on your own nonsense, even though you didn't even have a proper name yet. Come on now, boy. I'm feeling so. I ain't gonna lie, yeah? I don't wanna call his name. I ain't gonna call his name, but I'm feeling a little bit disappointed that throw you over, that throw you off. You know where I'm coming from? So yeah, that's hard, boy. That's real hard, I know. We're supposed to be standing against these things. We're supposed to be standing against these vain, these philosophies, these traditions, these rudiments of the world, these doctrines of devils. I'm gonna grab a precept to add to that, right? Let me grab a precept, which is Ephesians chapter 6, and I believe it's verses 10 or verses 11. My head scratching, man, so like if you hear a pattern song, there's me patting my head scratching, man, so like for that. Oh yes, boy, hey. Right. Let me read from 10, it says, I think that is the precept, yes, let me check it, let me read it. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, in Yahweh, and put the whole, and in the power, I imagine I went to 11 just now, and in the power of his might. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, his strategies. This is who we are to stand against. Esau, Edom, his laws and everything, his legislations, his horrendous acts, separating ourselves from the world, from these heathens. But, you know, it's sad. So, all I go and say is this: be carefully partake going down, brother. Because if it is you happen to stay going on this path, which many of the brothers of the Archeans have already did lessons on these things to edify you. So if you're constantly choosing to stick to that path that you are going, there's nothing I could say or do. So all I'm going to do is this. I mean, now this is deal with a prophet, but I'm going to also show this, showing you the power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. When you go into Ezekiel chapter 14, which everybody should know this by now, and verse 9, it says, "And if the prophet be deceived, when he had spoken a thing, it says, I, Yahweh, had deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and I will destroy him in the midst of my people Israel." So you being deceived at this current point to go into that doctrine, think about it before you go down into that part, please. Because you might be receiving this faith soon, or whenever it is your time will come. And I sincerely don't want that to happen. I truly don't. And this goes for anybody else. If y'all know you're following in that state of error, and y'all examine on yourself, because you don't even know you might be led into deception, believing in your own words and whatever you choose to believe in. Because at the end of it, what the Most High say you gonna do? I will stretch out my hand upon him, and I will destroy him from the midst of my people. The Most High is not playing. The scripture says a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So brethren, brother, be careful the road you're going down, the path you're going down, because you might be being led away for your destruction. If it is that you just came to learn this truth, if the Most High did give you that to learn this truth, just so you can receive your destruction, that's a scary thing as well. That is a scary thing. Imagine coming into this truth and just falling away after, just to be destroyed. That is exactly how. That is a very scary thing. So I hope this lesson, I don't even know what to name this. I just have named it "Come Out of These Doctrines." Oh, I know exactly what I could grab for the title. Salakia. It was right there all the time. Colossians chapter 2 and verses 8. It was right there all the time. You see, everything worked out. "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit." And in the NLT, which I like, it says, "Don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies or high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world rather than of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." Simple. That's how Yapa breakdown in the NLT. So anyways, Shalom Yasharala, Kal Halal Yam Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makakodash. Again, if it is, I urge you not to come out, not to go down that path into that philosophies. Examine yourself, see if you're being in faith. Hey, examine yourself, see if you're being in faith. At the same time, try the spirits that are around you, those who you're listening to. See if what they're saying is more worthy than what we have taught in the GMS camp. Please. Because I would assure you that you wouldn't see it so, you know. I have tried it myself. So please, I'm not begging, but I could only hope at the end of the day. Receive, if you have the spirit to receive it, if the Most High wills it, it will happen. So it's at the end of the day, that is why the brothers say Lord's will. If it be the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai, no problem. So again, Shalom.